well, you see this label here actually belongs up there. So this is Friday evening now into a Category 3 hurricane continuing through Saturday. So this is the same idea as before. Off Florida, the idea is that the atmosphere is more favorable, which we'll look at in a second, and it intensifies. And then here's the important part of the cone, and here's what's new. And you see here that in the vicinity of North Carolina or offshore, the cone has shifted to the west. Now, the National Hurricane Center obviously looking at the various models and saying the consensus is shifting toward the west, toward a landfalling hurricane, so they're moving now the cone in that direction. Now, a lot of different kinds of movement here. Is it going like this? Is it doing some other sort of thing and moving in some kind of zigzag? So don't think of this as a direct line. As a matter of fact, the odds are that's not what's going to happen. All right, we'll get those labels straightened out and have that for you here in just a little bit. Okay, so here's the way the satellite picture looks. There you see the movement. We see this flare up, see right in there. That's a sign that part of the eye wall is trying to form, that the clouds are higher there, and so we're seeing them stick out. So we're fearful for our friends here in the central Bahamas that they are really going to get an extensive, long-term Category 2, maybe Category 3 hurricane in that area, and the northwestern Bahamas, where unfortunately most of the people live, will be on the fringe of it, but still get the effect. There's the USGFS model. Tomorrow, here's the Euro, so there's very high confidence about this Bahamas situation happening. Then, once we move forward in time, the confidence goes way down. Because here's the shear. Now, the air blowing over top of the storm, when you get a lot of that, it's unfavorable. So this is tomorrow afternoon. You see moderate shear, so it's not expected to strengthen super fast. The water down there is a record temperature, so things except for that upper level wind really would allow it to really blow up. But as we move forward in time, watch the spaghetti models now. Here we are tomorrow. Now watch as we go forward into Friday. Kind of gets a little pocket in there with lighter winds, and that's why the thinking is that some strengthening could take place. And then moving north and curving back to the west. Now these models all take it toward North Carolina. Other models that you can't see here actually continue to take it offshore, and that's why the Hurricane Center track takes into a bigger area there than just these models show. But look at this loop. So we need to be ready for some kind of stalling over the east coast of the U.S. and then moving north which would be a tremendous rain problem for perhaps Virginia, the Carolinas, maybe moving north into New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Be ready for that. There's again a look at the cone. It's a little bit clearer there, and you see here that slowly moving, picking up speed, and now everybody from New England down to the Carolinas on alert for the possibility of this hurricane, a significant hurricane coming up this weekend. All right, now in terms of looking at what's driving the storm, here you see this big dip in the jet stream coming along, and you also see kind of a little bit of a high in here. That little high is what's pushing it now, but the dip in the jet stream amplifies, and that's what is going to pull it north. And it's got to do with exactly how that dip in the jet stream orients with this high pressure offshore on what happens. The GFS puts kind of a kink back that way and absorbs the storm back in toward the U.S. coast. That's why you saw all those tracks bending back. But look at the European. The European kind of keeps it separate and pushes it a little more offshore. And this thing that digs down stays to the west and keeps them separate. Still quite uncertain. All right, that's it for the tropics. Back here in just a moment with Dr. Rick Knapp. See you then. Stay tuned.
Currently in our area, 59 degrees.